what he meant by that. So, George, I mean, you, like me, obviously an aficionado of Elvis Costello, and in the aftermath of Mrs. Thatcher's death, you wrote the words "tramp the dirt down" on your Twitter feed. What did you mean by that?
Well, I've expanded on my blog at great length about what I meant by it. I reviewed the period in which my life and your life have intersected with her in the West Midlands, in Scotland, in Wales, in the depressed post-industrial areas. And I counted the dead. I counted the destroyed. I counted the closed. I counted the redundant. And then I moved on to the wars. So, as far as I'm concerned, Margaret Thatcher was a wicked and evil woman, and her period in office was one of great destructiveness, from which Britain has never recovered.
Why do you call her wicked and evil, George?
Well, I knew her and was up close and personal with her, and because I saw the way that she laid waste to people in the West Midlands, the factory workers, the car workers, the people who used to make trucks and buses, the people who used to dig coal, the people who used to make steel, the people who used to do things, make things, real things in Britain. I saw how she threw them on the scrap heap. And I saw how she favoured the pinstripe spivs and gamblers in the city instead. When she took over, financial services was 3% of the British economy. When she left office, it was 40%. And then when that collapsed in the last few years, look at the state we're in. So wicked, evil, I believe so. I've looked into her eyes, and I think she is.
Whatever failings you think that she had as a politician, George, is there not a time when somebody has died to reflect perhaps with a bit more kindness on their life?
Spare me the sanctimony. Spare me the sanctimony. I'm speaking up on behalf of the millions of people whose lives were destroyed by this woman. I mean destroyed and never recovered from. Spare me the sanctimony, please.
Do you not accept that she did?
Especially from a BBC. Why don't you listen to me for a minute? Especially from a BBC that was literally dancing on the grave of Hugo Chavez just 3 weeks ago. So spare me the sanctimony.
Do you think, George, that she did anything good? People point to the Cold War, which led to the collapse of the Berlin Wall. People might point to the rejuvenation of the British economy in the later years of the Thatcher era. Can you not accept that she did anything positive for the country?
Rejuvenation of the British economy? You're talking to me from the BBC West Midlands. Rejuvenation? We're living now in a post-industrial Britain. She destroyed more than 35% of British industrial capacity forever and deliberately in order to smash trade unionism and in order to favour her pinstripe friends in the city. So I lived through this, Adrian. Read my blog. I lived through this period. I was a political organiser in this period. I've seen the wasteland that Thatcher left. Just one thing more. The poll tax, the most iniquitous medieval tax imposed in Britain for centuries and which eventually brought her down. Do you know how much pain that caused ordinary people, poor people in this country? My goodness. Adrian, I understated my case.
Wow. That's a very powerful tirade, isn't it? George Galloway, the MP for Bradford West, the Respect MP, former Labour MP. Interesting, isn't it? We've heard, even since half